Oh, there's Ellie.
Good morning.
I did leave a voice for Nick last night, so hopefully he's joining us here soon.
Clark, did you get my email?
I did. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Nick Shy.
Oh.
I'm just preparing my notes and everything here, people. Well, let's see what time. It's only a minute after we give Nick a here. How's everyone doing on this fine, beautiful, sunshiny day?
Okay.
Good. At least the sun's out.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. This seems like it's been an unusually sunny spring. Usually we have a lot more rain and clouds, so not that
I think it's coming.
That's what I figure. I've been very spoiled this spring. Winter was pretty mild overall. We had those couple of weeks of bitterness, but
Yeah.
cold, and then it didn't seem like it lasted that long once it did set in.
Yeah.
Did everybody get my email with the agenda, the minutes, attachments, all that jazz?
Yeah.
Sure did.
And then there it is. There's the agenda. Okay. Yep. Is 4 a quorum?
We have a quorum, yeah. If Nick doesn't show, we should have a quorum, so.
Good.
Oh, I'll give him a call, see if he's coming.
I happened to be over at my son's house today because his wife's grandfather passed away and the funeral is today. So I'm trying to patch childcare with this meeting. So
Oh.
Hi, kitty. You're gonna have to go.
Yeah, I'll try the landline real quick. Hope they're not out of town or something this weekend. I called his house phone yesterday. House, try to sell. Hello, this is Clark. Is this Linda? Oh, hey, Nick. I didn't hear you. Both of you. Both of you, huh? What's that? Oh, no. Maybe I didn't. Oh, okay. No, that's good. All right. I didn't even see your email. Yep. I see it in my inbox now, though. Okay, great. Thanks for letting us know. All right. Thanks. All right. So Nick did have something come up. So he will not be in attendance today, but we do have a quorum. So that's all that matters. All right. And if I could just let me, here it goes. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. I have 10:04. All right. All right, we'll go ahead with the roll call. All right, Emily,
Here.
we're here. We got Ellie,
Here,
we got Jaden.
Here.
All right. And then do I hear a motion to excuse Nick?
so moved.
Okay. Any seconds?
I second.
Okay. All right. So we got Nick excused here. All right. So let's see. Where should we get started here? I think the big thing is just the first of thanks to Ellie for getting this property list started here. I assume all that's probably based off of what's on the auditor's site, Ellie.
Well, I actually got it from the recorder's office, but
Okay.
yes, it is. And in the raw material, I'd like to mail this to you. So you have the entire
Yeah.
raw material. It's some of the addresses are truncated,
Hmm.
but you can usually figure it out. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. It seems a lot of the names are truncated too. So probably what I'll try to do is go through that list and try to, get something that's fuller.
Well, and then I did get a volunteer from DMRC that actually put all the historic ones, the ones that we had decided we were going to look at, and those are the ones over 1959 and older. And it just happened that the volunteer is a cousin of mine, and as she was going through the list, we said, "Oh, wait, this owner is our cousin's son. I can get that address." So
There you go.
we're able to patch some things together.
Okay.
So,
All right. Yeah, I'm trying to open it so I can even.
Mark, would you give me your mailing address and I'll send this to you?
Yeah. I was thinking about. I don't know if you need to mail. If you want to just maybe drop it off at Village Hall. I mean, because basically I'm trying to make a time to get down there anyway, because we have a whole box of materials and stuff for the commission that I've been. The problem is it's I have to get there during business hours, so I'll probably have to take a day off work or a half day to get down there. But if you want to mail it, I can give you my address. But if it's easier, you can just drop it at Village Hall.
I'll just mail it. They're kind of like, they don't really want me in there, people in there in general.
Okay. All right. Okay, so it's 1011
Mhm.
Sunnywood Lane, and that's in Ravenna.
Great,
And
thank you.
Our zip code is 44266 if you don't have it.
Yep. Thank you.
Mhm. All right. All right, so we got here. So has everyone had a chance to look at her inventory that she sent?
Yeah.
That Ellie prepared
Yep.
for?
Yes.
So yeah, I think the big thing right now is I want to try and get some full names on there. And that's the thing. We might be able to use VLOOKUP or some kind of thing to transfer them a little easier, but in any case, it is a wonderful place to start. So I'm glad that we have this to go off of. Do you know, Ellie, is there any notes in here as far as maybe people that we've reached out to already or anything like that?
I'm not aware of anything that they've done in the past.
Okay. I know Nick's been with the commission longer, so I think he's a little more familiar with that, but yeah. Okay. But yeah, as I said, it is a nice, wonderful place to start. I'm glad that we have this to go off of. So we're going to just, going forward, we'll probably try to tweak and expand this list, get it a little more complete. And that'll be a nice distribution list for us once we get the letter together. So, okay. All right, and then that brings us obviously to the letter. So did everyone get a chance to read and look that over?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just like a rough draft I've drawn up. If anybody has any suggestions or things we can do to tweak on it, I guess raise those now or just let me know. But I think this is probably a an idea of what this is going to go off of. I know in the past because one thing I had thought of for this letter is kind of giving them like a little survey, like, yes, I'm interested. I'm kind of interested, just not right now, or no, I'm not interested. And like, I kind of decided to go away with that because if they're not interested, I almost want to make it a little more difficult for someone to opt out. You know what I mean? It's kind of like my sneaky little, idea that I kind of want, once I started putting it together and thinking about it. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? But that's kind of my impression.
So how are you going to make it so they can't opt out? I'm just curious.
Well, it's
I mean,
not like it's opting out, but it's like rather than saying,
Yeah.
please don't contact, like I would, if they want it, I'm sure if they don't want it, they would contact us anyway, but I almost don't want to put the idea in their head that, hey,
Right.
remove me from
Right.
Right.
list. So that's kind of my thing. Like, I'm sure if somebody, gets this letter and they don't, oh, I'm not interested in this, do not send, like, I'm sure they're going to make a phone call or an email or whatever and tell us just, hey, stop contacting us. But I don't know. That was kind of my thinking. Just not plant that seed in their head.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thinking on that.
Hey.
I would just like
And
I would
go ahead.
do anything that made it.
I like the format though. I just want to give you props for that because I mean, I don't know if this is what's actually going to go out, but I like that it's like bulleted straight to the point. When I saw this, it was like, oh, there's like not a lot of reading here. Like it's straight to the point. So, it's not like this paragraph after paragraph. Like it,
Right.
I like how you formatted it. So I just wanted to say I like.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing, is to just make it something kind of simple and straightforward, and kind of do a lot of research for people at the front end, just so they don't have to, kind of be thinking, oh, is this even worth my time, or that kind of thing. So that was largely my intent when I was drafting this. Once we kind of have a final draft, what I may do as well is have, Michelle or other folks, with the village, just proofread it, make sure we have all our facts straight and we're not sending out anything inaccurate, obviously. But a lot of like these requirements and stuff, it kind of came from my research and putting everything together from, it's all on Ohio history. And I attached a lot of the materials that I was referencing just so you could see where I'm getting from. But it's kind of funny because like when you look at the village ordinances and all the stuff that we have, just at the village level, as far as, the purpose of the commission and all that, like as far as the entire application process and a lot of that isn't in our ordinances.
Well, if you get someone who's interested, then what's the next step? What do you do with that?
Basically it's kind of nice. Like if you'll see in the attachments, there's actually a questionnaire.
Yeah, I did notice that.
It's just for that purpose. It kind of says, oh, okay, are you interested? Well, it's kind of like a preliminary questionnaire for them, just to help them be sure that their home would be eligible.
And then is that submitted to Ohio History?
Basically, yeah. It's not to Ohio. That's the website, but yeah, I think it's the national. Here, I can't think of the name of it, but it's basically the National Registry. It's the Ohio office for that. It's basically a nomination form, and from there, it's just there's a whole flow chart as far as like that walks you through it. But you can, if anybody hasn't had a chance to look at it yet, it is quite onerous. It's a very long, tedious application process. So, I did want to send that out to us just so we can kind of have, not that we have to be experts, but it does really help break it down and have us be familiar of what that process is going to look like. So if we do have anyone from the community that approaches us, we have a direction we can point them in, and we have some working knowledge to let them know what to expect. So that was my primary motivation in wanting to get that out to us.
but yeah, it's a very long process. I think at one point they eventually even go before the board. It's almost like a presentation that they do. And obviously this isn't something that they would be doing on their own. You know, it would be something we would be facilitating for them throughout the process and lending our assistance.
Okay.
I would even think probably if they're as they're going before the board and making their case, that would probably be, I'm sure one of us could volunteer to assist them and go with them to their presentation and that kind of thing. Make it as, I don't know, moral support or whatever. But yeah, it is quite a lengthy process, but I did want to get that out for us so that we have that information privy to us. Yeah, and if you haven't gone on that website yet, it is nice. There's a lot of resources on there too. I tried to attach stuff that I just thought was the most useful and high level stuff, but there's tons of information on there. They even have a national registry of everything. I think every home, property, historical district, they have a national index of everything that's currently on there already. So it is a nice resource for us. But yeah, I tried to attach some materials that I thought would be useful. Yeah, that flow chart is really interesting. If you look at that, it's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's pretty intimidating, but yeah, it's something I figure at some point, just in your downtime, try to look that over and get a little familiar with it. So ideally, if we can drum up some interest in the village here, we'll be familiar with what we're up against and how we can guide folks through the process. Yeah, and there's also a sample nomination form I was able to download, so I attached that as well. All right, let's see here. Yeah, look, and you'll see, kind of the high level thing is they want your property to at least be 50 years old. They want it to basically, I think they say it possesses significant historical integrity, which I kind of take that to mean it's like they want it to actually be a historical building that should belong on this register. And they're kind of looking to see, how it's associated with the history of the area as well. But let's see. Properties. Yeah. And this was kind of something I didn't think of either. To get registered, to have your home registered, even if your property itself isn't necessarily that historic looking, if you maybe you're a farmer, you own a couple acres and there's some mounds on your property. If those are burial mounds that might have Indian artifacts or something in there, that your home would be eligible for that reason too. It's kind of it's something that you wouldn't necessarily think about, but yeah, that's kind of another criteria that allows your home to be eligible.
Well, I know that there's a burial mound right across the street in my neighbor's field, and I grew up on the same street, and they would never let because they were contacted several times by college like Hiram and Kent, and they were like, nope, don't want to go down that process. Nobody's coming on here because they wanted to go and do some excavation. And yeah,
there was a pretty good movie on that. I don't know if anybody's seen it on Netflix. It's called The Dig.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. It's set just before World War II, and this lady, she's got these giant mounds on her property, and she wants someone to come and investigate it. And here they end up finding this. They thought it was going to be Viking ships, and it was even older. It was Anglo-Saxon ships buried in her backyard. And it was kind of just how, once they figured out what was actually there, it's the National British Museum and the local museum were fighting over, jurisdiction and everything. It was pretty interesting movie. But okay, what do you know? Because I've heard Tom mention that property as well. Ellie, where's that located at?
It is. All right. If you turn east on Canada Road off of Route 44, you'll go over a small bridge, and immediately, you don't even want to be completely off the bridge. If you look to the left, there you will notice this hill, and it's just, it looks artificial because
Yeah.
there's no slope or anything. It's just this mound almost.
I wonder if they plowed through another one when they were putting the road through there or something, since it's so close to the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And how did they even make the determination that that's what was there?
I think it was an archaeologist from one of the colleges.
Okay.
And when they looked at it, that they said, it's right here, it's next to the river. And the owners just didn't want to pursue it.
Too bad. Yeah, but that is interesting. That's interesting. I'll have to try to get that address so we can put it on our radar, so to speak. If it ever changes owners.
They might not appreciate it. I don't know.
Well, I know. But like I said, honestly, that's the purpose of this list, because I wanted to get it established just so we know that, so we know, kind of what's in our inventory, so to speak, and just even with the current owners, if they're not interested, if that property, eventually it is going to change hands, just with the nature of things. And that's kind of how we can keep track of these sort of things. Just because the current owner isn't interested doesn't mean later down the line the next owner may be. So, but anyhow, okay. All right, so let's see. Coming back to our letter here. Yeah, the big thing is, like, besides eligibility, I kind of wanted to, reference, what's in it for me as far as, the tax incentives and those kind of things. So I tried to put that in there as well. And then as we come to the bottom of the letter, you'll see I'm trying to determine who we should be steering these folks to. My inclination is to perhaps direct them to Village Hall. I don't know, like, ideally what I want to kind of do is keep our contact consistent on these things. So as, our commission changes members and all that, numbers aren't going out of fashion, or points of contact. So my incline is kind of just, and I'll probably review this with the mayor and get her input on this as well. But my inclination is for anyone who is interested to direct them to Village Hall, and then Village Hall can get them in touch with someone, on the commission. I can see, I did start researching an email address for us. I guess the village doesn't really have anything established as far as like a public domain or anything like that. So we'll have to get our own email address started. What I'm thinking is, I don't know. I'm probably thinking of going with Gmail. If anybody else has suggestions on that, let me know. But and then I guess this is kind of, I'm jumping ahead here. This is kind of tying into our organizational matters. So I know, Emily, you had mentioned, is it Google Docs? That's kind of like a good public domain as far as creating a filing system for us and for the commission.
It seems to be user friendly, at least in our school district, when we want something filled out with some sort of response. And I think it's probably like user friendly in that sense, and that we can get a quick, easy response from Google Forms, and it can be sent, collected in one centralized location.
Okay. So
I don't have a ton of experience myself, but I know the high schoolers use it. My 13-year-old.
I imagine it's probably pretty user friendly. So I'm trying to remember what I use. I know in Outlook, I think it's called OneDrive. So I'm more familiar with Microsoft's, but I'll look into Google, because that's what I'm trying. I'm kind of leaning towards Gmail, because then we could have Google Docs, for our public, not our public filing system, but a central filing system, something that's going to be specific to the commission rather than any member of the commission.
Right.
And then getting an email address established for us as well. So that's all stuff that's in the making. but that is something that I'm going to really concentrate on doing, because that's, besides just for this little letter campaign we're trying to kick off here, I think that's going to be a good resource, for the commission now and far into the future with your projects. And plus, it'll be kind of nice. We can kind of start keeping a soft copy list of all our documents and stuff too. We won't have to rely on hard copies or going to Village Hall and digging through that box for everything we need. So, okay, I'm going to continue to pursue that. But yeah, I wanted to get a little more information from you on that, Emily. I might reach out if I have any trouble with that. I might reach out to you and we can kind of work on that in the downtime as well. But okay. All right. Well, before we move on to any new business, does anybody, kind of have any questions on the inventory we're getting together here or on the letter? Does the letter look good to you guys? Is there anything you think is missing on there that we need to add or change?
I liked it as Emily mentioned, just the bullet points, what to consider, any benefits. I thought it was a good letter.
Okay. Okay. If we like the direction it's taken, then I'll just continue to tweak that. I'm trying to think on a timeline here as far as how and when we're going to get this out, but ideally no later than next spring. I was hoping we could perhaps get it out this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I think we have a couple more hoops to jump through, and once we do have a final letter prepared, I do know Linda once the letter is prepared, before we would send it out, she would like to have village council just look it over and approve it, I think. So that'll be part of our process there as far as getting that out. But that'll be I'm going to continue to work on this. I'm hoping to have a lot more done. Our next meeting isn't going to be until September. We have a really long gap with the summer. So I'm hoping to have it well underway and wheels turning on that before our next meeting. I'm thinking, and that's the thing, once we have it finalized, I don't know, I guess we'll need a formal vote within our commission just to say approve it and go forward with it, and then we would present it to village council. They would sign off on it, and then we could get it out at that point whenever. So I'm thinking just kind of on the current rates, maybe we can get this summer or this fall, but I'm probably imagining it'll be the spring, next spring. Maybe not. Maybe we can make it happen earlier, but just trying to set a realistic expectation for the timeline and all that. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see, new business here. So try to pull up my agenda here. I wrote it down on my notes, but I don't trust my notes. So, okay, so the continuing education, I did look into, if anyone recalls last time, part of the thing is being a member of this commission is we are encouraged to try to familiarize ourselves with historic preservation and, that sort of thing. Ohio History, the organization, they do have spring conferences. I was surprised. They did have conferences this spring, a lot of virtual ones. But as far as when I was looking on the agenda of what was being offered in our area, to me, it didn't seem appropriate and necessarily worth our time, because they don't just deal with historical preservation. Sometimes it just has to do with how to manage money for your nonprofit organization or things like that. And I don't even have it in front of me right now, but the ones that there's different regions too, I should say. I think there's 8 regions, and there's a couple counties that are included in each region. And the ones that were being offered in our area, it's just when I was looking at the agenda and what was being discussed, to me, it didn't look like anything that was going to be worth our time. But that being said, if you guys ever come across anything, if there's a little seminar, or there's not even necessarily a seminar. I know sometimes local colleges, they'll just even have presentations or, things open to the public as far as events and things that you can do and listen in on. If anybody ever finds is interested in that, I mean, let us know, share it with the commission. I've looked at, I kind of suspect with COVID, a lot of that stuff isn't going on right now, because I did check out a couple of the local colleges here. I know Cleveland State, especially, I think they have like a historic preservation type of program, and they didn't have anything going on right now, unfortunately. But I'm kind of wondering once everything winds down with COVID, maybe there'll be more of those events we can go into. But yeah, just kind of be on the lookout for those sort of things. If it's anything you want to attend or you want to share with the group, and it's something someone else may be interested in, that's something that we can try to be doing. As far as this fall, because in the spring they have regional conferences, and in the fall they have the big fall conference. I haven't seen anything on that yet, but with the vaccines rolling out, and it seems like we're going to be having a return to normalcy fairly soon here. I suspect by the fall we'll have something rolled out, and we'll have more information. So I'm going to keep my ear to the ground on that, and once I hear on it, I'll let you guys know. It's always down in Columbus. If anybody does have interest driving down and checking that out, but it's usually in October that they hold that. So I'll keep an eye out on that and just let you guys know. But yeah, the ones they had in this spring, none of them seemed appropriate, and then I couldn't find anything else going on right now. So probably the fall is when that kind of stuff will come up again. We do have a very small budget. The mayor was telling me, I think like $600 or so. So if any of these, seminars or something, if there is a fee to attend, just keep in mind, that's something we could dip into our budget for to attend. If there's some kind of seminar fee or attendance fee, that's not something you would have to spend out of your own pocket. That's something that I think would be an appropriate use of this commission's funds. So just keep that in mind as well. Any questions on that or comments? Okay. All right. Another while we're on the idea of continuing education, though, I know one thing I did. This was a couple months ago now, but the Aurora has a very well developed landmarks commission. There's a lot more interest in their community as far as participation. So if anybody, I know I took the time a couple of months ago to go and attend one of their meetings. And if anybody wants to do that or make time to do that, I'd be happy to try to set something up. But it's kind of interesting to see, because you get more of an idea of what a more active board looks like. They have a lot more meetings as far as people coming before them, looking to have what's the term, article of appropriateness or certificate of appropriateness to make modifications on their property, and that. So it is kind of interesting. So if that's something you ever want to attend or something, let me know. I can try to look into that and line something up, or just let you know when the next meeting is. But yeah, they typically have, I'm not sure how often. I think they might meet more often than us. I don't know if they meet quarterly, or they might be so busy they might even meet monthly or even more often. But yeah, it's kind of just a nice thing to attend and look into. Just let me know as far as that too, if anybody ever wants to attend. Okay. We've already started touching on just as far as our organizational matters. So outreach initiatives. So one thing our commission, we're pretty much encouraged. Outreach is basically just letting the village know that we're here, what we offer, and that kind of thing. In the past, what we've done is, I know Nick and I know Renee, when she was still with us, they would like set up a booth at the Potato Festival or at Art on the Hill, those kind of things, just to let the village know we're here and what we're offering. And I think sometimes they would even partner with the DMRC, just to not even just talk about our commission, but just kind of the historical nature of the village. So that being said, I don't know if it's kind of going to be funny to say whether or not any of those kind of events are going to happen this year. I don't know if anyone knows if that's going forward this year or not. I suspect maybe it will. When is the Potato Festival? Does anyone know?
It's the weekend
Is it in
after
the
Labor
spring
Day.
or
It's the week.
after Labor Day? Okay, that's like late fall then. So that'll probably be back up by then. So I'll look into it, but that might be something we could try to, as far as our outreach. I think it's kind of just an easy thing. A lot of people are in town anyway, checking out the festival. That might be a good outreach opportunity for us. I don't know. Does anybody else have any ideas on, as far as outreach and? All right. Well, if you do, certainly let me know. Yeah, that's kind of nice that the Potato Festival is so late in the year, because I would think definitely by Labor Day things are going to be open again. So that'll be something I'll look into. Maybe we could set up some kind of a booth for our outreach this year. When is Art on the Hill? Are they still doing that every year, or?
Yes, it will happen this year, and it's the weekend after July 4th. So I believe it is the 10th, July 10th.
Okay. All right, so I'll look into that as well. Perhaps setting up a booth and getting something together so we can make ourselves known there. Do we know with the DMRC? Do we know who's currently who's heading that right now?
It's Edie Benner is president.
Okay.
Terry Vetchery is is one of the chairmen on the Art on the Hill.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'll try to get in touch with Terry too, see if she thinks.
And
I know the Potato Festival. I think that would definitely be a good opportunity. With Art on the Hill, maybe not. But
yeah, and sometimes I think the Historical Society has a booth which maybe you could share with them or something.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, to me, I don't think it makes sense to necessarily split everything up. I think it's a kind of a good opportunity for the two organizations to work together, partner for that kind of thing. So, but yeah, okay. So I'll get in touch with them, and we can start getting that on our radar, and just ideally we can make our presence known to those two. Yeah, if anybody else has any outreach ideas, let me know. But in the past, that's kind of been our big way of trying to get in touch with the community. I think this letter campaign really helped too, just to reach audiences we might not typically be reaching. I was going through my inbox a couple weeks ago, and I have emails going back years since I've been on this commission. But I remember Nick was just saying a couple years ago, I think they were at the Potato Festival, and he was just saying there was so many people in the village that didn't even know we existed. So if they don't know we exist, they definitely don't know their property may be eligible to be registered if that's something they're interested in. So yeah, just try to get people aware. I know Nick's kind of frustration has been like, nobody's interested, and that very well may be, but they're definitely not going to be interested if they don't know the opportunities out there. So yeah, I'm hoping this letter campaign will get us some leads as far as drumming up some interest, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, moving right along here. The last thing I have is just making sure we have all our contact information updated, which I think we do. Let's see here. It looks like we have, I know I have names and phone numbers for everybody except Jaden. Jaden, if you want to just email me a good phone number to reach you at, we obviously have a good email address for you, but I think you're the only one that's on my list that I don't have a good phone number for.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we have a master contact list and we all know how to get in touch with each other. And I think you were I think you were the only one on my list that I didn't have at least an email address and phone number for. So.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and we forgot. I forgot to review the minutes from our last meeting here. So did everyone get a chance to look over the minutes that Ellie threw together for us?
Yes.
Okay. I think to me they look good. Anybody have any notes or suggestions on those? Hearing none. Okay. So do I hear a motion to approve the minutes? Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes as is?
I so move.
Okay. Ellie. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay. All right. All right. So those, good to enter those minutes in as is. Well, and then of course we have the big thing with Ellie leaving us here. So we're going to need a new secretary.
And the mayor may already have someone interested in the commission. And so.
Okay. Yeah. I think at the very least, we'll probably need to establish just an intermediate secretary. Maybe at our next meeting, once, because Nick will be present as well, we'll have a, more of a presence. And Emily, you're already our vice president, so I think Jaden, I think you're all that's left.
I could do, yeah.
So we might.
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah. You'll have to be our secretary.
I kind of
apologize
apologize
all right.
about this, but my work is changing and it's some exciting changes at my business, and I'm just not going to be able to do this and DMRC. So
yeah, no, it is what it is. I mean, we certainly appreciate the time you've been with us. I really appreciate you taking the initiative to get this property list started for us. So that's going to be a big help for us as we get this thing off the ground here. So yeah, the big thing just with that property list, I want to tweak it. I want to get some full names on there so we can once we are ready to mail out. One thing I'm thinking too is, just so we're not having to handwrite these letters every spring when we send these out, I want to get a soft copy together, because then that way we can just print out the labels, stick them on the envelopes, and get them out. Make it really easy for us. But I think that'll be a good thing we can do every spring, to just remind folks we're out here, and we're here for them. And if they want to get their home registered, we're here to help them do that. So that'll be our big thing going forward. All right, so we'll just I guess we technically need to nominate Jaden. So I make a motion to nominate Jaden as our secretary. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Okay. All right. Do you accept the nomination, Jaden?
I do.
Okay. All in favor? All in favor?
aye.
All right. Opposed? Okay. All right. So
And Jaden, just so you know, I'm doing the minutes for this meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'll get these out.
Cool.
Okay. So as I said, I'm gonna keep moving forward with this letter and improving this property thing. Ideally, maybe I can have that together well before our next meeting, but definitely no later than our next meeting. And then, of course, I do want to get that public drive and that email address established for us as well, so we can get that going. Before we adjourn, does anybody have anything else for the good of the order that I've forgotten or we need to discuss today?
Just thinking about the letter, is there some letterhead that we could put, like once we have the letter finalized?
Yeah.
Some Mantua Village letterhead?
I'm sure there is. Yeah. I definitely want to get it on, the village letterhead, so it looks nice and official. So I'll be working with the mayor on that. But yeah, it's for sure, there'll be costs with getting the material together and printed and sent out. So, but yeah, that's definitely something I will be looking into. Yeah. All right. Other questions or comments? All right. Well, thank you everybody for taking the time this morning. Get out there and enjoy the sunshine. Outside of that, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I motion that.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll
A
second.
second.
All right. All in
No,
favor?
it's yours, Jaden.
Okay.
All right. All in favor?
I.
Aye.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you at our next meeting. Let's see. Next meeting. Boy, it's on September 11th. Knock on wood there.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next meeting, it will be on September 11th, and then our final meeting in November will be November 13th. So just mark your calendars for that. And I will definitely, before September, I will be in touch with you all as we're getting this developed. So just watch your inbox. But we're good to go. All right.
Wait, don't go anywhere. Hold on. A couple questions. Are we planning on having the September, okay, first of all, is it in person? That's my first question. Do we know yet?
I imagine it probably will be. As I said, with things opening up again, I would imagine by then it probably will be back to the village hall chambers. But
Okay. The other thing I would like to point out is, and I don't know if we want to do anything about this, but that is the weekend after Labor Day, which is the same weekend as the Potato Festival. So I don't know. I know.
Oh, is it on that same day? Oh, okay. Is it? It's the same day as the Potato Festival.
It is.
Okay. Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Yeah, we might want to look into. I don't know, Michelle. Would we be able to change the date and move it to a different day?
Oh, you can definitely change your date.
Okay.
I don't know that having a meeting at 10 in the morning at Village Hall is going to be a major conflict.
Yeah,
I think the Potato Festival usually gets rolling a little more like noonish, early afternoon.
That might work out good then, because we could have our meeting and then we could just walk on over to our booth at the festival. So that's actually kind of good timing.
All I was thinking was if we wanted to meet collectively as a group before that, though, so that we had our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
And our act together. That was just a suggestion. So.
Yeah, no. I kind of overlooked that in my my wrap up here, but yeah, I think that definitely we'll be able to do that.
If you all decide to have a special meeting, something like that, where you've got your quorum together, let us know. We'll get it in the paper for you.
Okay. But yeah, because I know with Art on the Hill is obviously in July, so we'll probably, if we do decide to have a presence there, we'll have to get together and coordinate that too. So September probably won't necessarily be the next time we see all each other, but yeah, if we opt to make our presence known at these events, we'll certainly be coordinating to do that. So the big thing is just any official business has to be done at a meeting. But as far as just getting together to get stuff ready for an event, I don't think we don't have to have a public forum or a public meeting for that kind of coordination, do we, Michelle?
If you have a quorum of your body getting together, so 3 of you don't constitute a quorum, so technically you can get together, but if you have all 4, you do.
Okay, interesting. That's interesting.
Any business of your public body.
Well, but that's what I mean. Like, if we're just coordinating to put on an event, though, is that something that has to be?
I always think better safe than sorry.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, well, I mean, that's good to know. If we have to have a special meeting, I'll just make sure that we get ample notice for Michelle to put that in the paper and have it announced. But all right. So or more. Okay. All right. Well, anything else for the good of the order? I know we've technically adjourned here, but anybody have anything else? Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody. If you do, if anything does come up or you think of anything, certainly give me a call or an email. But outside of that, I'll be seeing you guys down the road then.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.